What's up, guys? I'm Frank with Line Maker Sports. This is the Line Maker Sports Podcast, episode 1, where we're going to go over sports, not just sports, but a bunch of stuff, current events and a lot of stuff like that. Give you my opinion, and we're going to bring on guests left and right. So thanks for joining us in episode 1 right now. Who I'm bringing on is our Director of Sales. I decided to keep it in-house for the first guest, and his name is Mr. Robson. How you doing, Mr. Robson?
Thank you. Hey, I'm doing pretty good. Thank you, Frank, for having me.
Nice. But, yeah, this is episode 1, so we're going to go ahead and start talking and get down to it, guys. If you guys like this podcast, we're going to, do multiple of them, obviously. We're going to try to keep it once a week. Like and subscribe. Smash that like button and hit that subscribe button. So let's get down. Let's get into it. What's the first thing that we want to talk about here? What are you thinking?
Maybe we'll talk about some of the sales experience, some people that have gone through the program or some people we've talked to, so...
Yeah, let's talk about that. Mm-hmm. So I know that, you oversee the sales division and you get to see, and hear a lot of the conversations that come in and out of a lot of people that are interested in our stuff, a lot of people that are interested in the coaching stuff and everything like that. Mm-hmm. What are some of the crazy stories, really, that you've heard, coming in? What are the craziest stories you've heard from people coming in,
Well, I mean, I hear a lot of the same stuff, just people not having the mindset, bankroll management. But, I mean, as far as crazy stories that I've heard from people, I mean... Besides just having a gut feeling for coming up with I think that's crazy because, I mean, you're leveraging your hard-earned money and you're just doing gut feelings. But, I mean, as far as just unique situation and strategy, it's about probably this one guy who, he said he had a guaranteed plan for coming up with NFL and MLB winners in the postseason. And whenever someone says guarantee, they have a guaranteed system. It's 99% of the time wrong. But this guy said that he would be able to pick his winners off of the political party that is in office currently. And based on the state's individual political party on who's in office, he would be able to correlate it. And it was just, what the hell? Who the fuck does that?
I know, that is pretty funny when it comes down to that. But there's a lot of interesting stuff, even not just that, but they got the gematria. A lot of people use that and go with that where it comes to numbers and whatnot. And, I don't know. If the strategy works for you, I don't know. If it's proven that it's worked for you, then I guess you can go ahead and go with it. But personally, no, I'm not gambling money on, whether it's going to be who's in office or, if it's the second day of the second month of
there's just no correlation.
The second year or anything like that,
No. But most of the times, the 99% of the people that come in, they have a strategy that they've been using for a couple weeks. And they're like, oh, I've been doing great with it. And they expect that it's going to be working long term. And I mean, if you don't have a strategy that has been tested over years upon years, then you don't have a consistent strategy because consistency is all about long term.
No,
right?
Yeah. No, I definitely get that because it's, it literally, you need stuff that's proven years over years over years. So, a lot of people don't get that because, like, I see it a lot too where people just come in and they're like, I had a strategy that worked for like the last 2 weeks. Now all of a sudden they think that strategy, is going to make money forever. It's like you got to be able to test that stuff. It has to be back for, years. You got to be able to see that shit for years because there's no way that, I can flip a coin. Honestly, I can flip a coin and be winning 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I could do that probably even for a month. There could be a month where I end up, actually flipping a coin and I can turn a profit from flipping a coin for a month. But it's what takes, data. You need data over a long term to be able to see if things actually pan out and what you can expect. It's the same thing as when it comes to like the stock market. You see like in the stock market where, over the last 50 years, you have stuff in there of the graphs and everything in the stock market. It really comes down to like stuff like that. It's the same exact aspect. People don't realize that the stock market, sports betting, they like go hand in hand. That shit goes hand in hand. Like it's the same thing. Only thing is that I personally think you can get more gains in the sports betting industry rather than in the stock market. But obviously, I mean, I don't know. That depends on what stocks you're going to be.
Sure. No, I mean, you could have some crazy growth stocks, but I mean, you've been consistently doing 10 units every single month. So 10 units every month, 12 months. It's 120% if you're doing 1% unit size. So, I mean, that's an amazing return. And I mean, no stock traders doing that consistently year round. So, I mean, that's great that you can do that. So there's definitely, it's more high risk here between betting, especially how a lot of people are doing it. But I mean, what consistency is having a set strategy and using that day in and day out to come up with all of your picks. And I grew up playing baseball, so I kind of like to correlate looking at baseball players before they go into the box. What they do, they have a same strategy like Big Papi. I'm a huge Red Sox fan, And before he goes into the box, he spits in his gloves, takes off his gloves. He does it every single at bat, and it's all his set routine that he does.
Yeah, it's like a ritual.
Yeah, and you have to do that with your sports betting as well. You have to correlate that with doing a set routine for coming up with all your picks.
Mm-hmm. No, I totally agree with that. Like, you need to have a routine down that, that you do every single day. And because the thing is that most of your sports bettors out there, I see this shit all the time at the casinos. Honestly, I laugh every time I see it too. So I'll see that, just random guys going in there, and you can just see them putting in their parlay tickets, and you can see like the couple dollars they got in their hand, $5-10, and they're putting in their parlay tickets or whatnot. And that's not a set routine. Like, nobody's routine is to go into the casino. Like, nowadays, you don't even need to go in the casino. You don't even need to go in the casino anymore. Like, I go in the casino sometimes because I want to play the slot machines or something. Sure. I don't go in there for anything that has to do with sports betting. Everything is done online. You don't need to have to go into the sports book to be able to do that stuff. So it's funny that I see that aspect of people, though, that they walk in there and, they got $5-10 and they go and put their big parlay ticket in. I swear to God, I see these people come out with, like, the ticket size like this.
They look like CVS receipts.
Yeah, exactly. With like a 10-teamer, like a 15-teamer that they're putting it in, and I see it. And I just shake my head because I'm like, listen, I can almost guarantee you ain't gonna win that. So
I got a question for you. I mean, growing up, well, we both grew up here in Vegas. So I mean, what are some unique situations that you've seen, or unique stories that you've seen on the Strip, or some people at casinos, or?
I mean, when it comes down to, like, there's so much stuff here in Vegas, especially, down on the Strip that, is crazy. But probably one of the most craziest things I've seen is probably, okay, so this was at the South Point. So this was back in the early days when I used to gamble, not even being 21. So back in the early days, it was so funny because it was actually somebody that I knew. All right, so it was somebody that I knew, and he worked at FedEx. It's a funny story. All right. So he worked at FedEx. We were like fiends when it came to like the roulette table and stuff like that. So we would always be on the roulette table. It was hilarious. So, and it wasn't like the real roulette table. It was the electronic one. Yeah. Yeah, electronic one. So what we would do is we'd go play the electronic one or whatnot and everything like that. I was only like 17. I swear I was like 17, but I had all that facial hair shit. Sure. So they thought I was 21. They never really carded me. So we're over there playing, and like he would get on a heater. And make, a couple thousand here and there, and think that obviously he don't have to work anymore or whatnot or anything like that. And this always happens in gambling when you start winning, is that like you think you can just quit your job and you think like, I could just do this forever. So anyway, we're playing and whatnot. It's one of those days where it's not going too well. So he put about like 1,000 in this roulette machine. So there was about 1,000 in the machine, and he was started to lose. So what he was betting was like 100 on first 12, 100 on second 12, and it wasn't hitting. He wasn't doing well whatsoever. So it started dwindling down. He started losing more and more money, and before you know it, like the whole entire 1,000 started like going all the way down. And
slowly but surely.
Yeah, it was going all the way down. So then he was realizing like that was his check that he got from FedEx that he put in that he put into the machine. So that was the check that he received for working. So it was so funny. He got down to his last $20. All right, and I swear to God this happened. And it's so funny. He got down to his last $20, and we were laughing because I was like, "What the hell are you gonna do now, dude?" And he was like, "Damn." He's like, "I just worked for 2 weeks for fucking free." He was like, "I basically worked for free." He's like, "I ain't got no money to eat and shit now. Fuck." He's like, "Well." He's like, I can take the 20 out and then maybe go ahead and like, make that last. Yeah, make that last for 2 weeks or whatnot. And I was laughing, and he's like, fuck it, you know what? He's like, I could just eat cereal for the next 2 weeks. He's like, I don't care. So he takes the $20 that he has left and puts it on 0-0. And it's so funny that literally this guy's a 1 in 36 chance of hitting that, and it fucking hits 0-0. It hits 0-0 with his last $20. It's 0-0, and he gets all the money back. I think it paid out. It paid out like it's 36 to 1 times 20. It was like, I think he got like 800 or 900 off of it, something like that. He got something about almost pretty much all of his money back that he ended up losing. And then the funny thing was, didn't cash out.
Oh my
because
God. He didn't learn?
Didn't cash out. No, he did not cash out. So kept going, and actually ended up ended up making money. So he's actually ended up making like a couple $100, and then finally ended up leaving. But it's just like the story behind that is like this literally happens every day in the casinos to people every day. Fridays when they get paid, you could see the lines at the cashier at the cage where they're all cashing their checks and they're all gonna go and gamble the money that they just got paid in the machines or whatnot. This happens all the time, and I just thought like that was one of the funniest stories and craziest things I've ever seen, because it was like literally their last $20, it's 1 in 36 shot, and it actually ends up hitting that. It was insane, but this happens all the time with people.
No, it's crazy. Like you were saying, on Fridays, I mean, people are cashing their check, and I mean, a lot of these different casinos have this option where it's like, oh, double your paycheck for the week if you can, every time you cash it there, because they want you to take that money and then go play in the casino and then get free drinks as well. And that's some of the situations I've seen, just people at blackjack or at some of the table games, and they've been drinking a lot because they're getting free drinks. And they're just losing their entire paycheck for the week on Friday. And it's like, bro, how the hell are you going to survive for the next week if you're just living paycheck to paycheck and just giving it away to the casino? So
yeah, that's like they don't really realize. That runs into another story, actually. I got another funny one. So this was when I was 18, I think. I was about 18. I was working security at Aria. So working security at Aria, like you said, the drunk guys that go out and they play on the tables and whatnot. So this guy comes in. He went and played. He was playing blackjack. This guy was so drunk. He was out of his mind drunk. So he started playing blackjack and got on a heater. Like, this happens all the time. Got on a heater playing blackjack. Ended up with about 110,000. He had like 110 grand. So this guy was like shit faced. I mean, he didn't even know where he was at. So he comes and comes to the front desk where to get a hotel room, didn't have a hotel room there, and was like, I want the fucking biggest suite that you guys got. Like acting like a big shot, of course, because he's just made a shit ton of money. And drunk as shit though. Has no idea what the hell he's doing because he's super drunk. So they want me to escort him up to the room. So I'm like, yeah. I was like, yeah, I'll escort him up to the room. That's fine. So it's funny because he had like a paper bag, like a lunch sack paper bag that they cashed. Yeah, they cashed all the money out in, and he's holding it. This guy's drunk off of his ass. He's not even gonna remember what's going on right now. So he's like, man, we're about to go up to the room, and he's like, man, I gotta take a piss, man. Here, hold this for a sec. Gives me the bag, and just goes into the bathroom and just dips into the bathroom. Literally, I got 110 grand in my hand. So at 18, I'm like, obviously, that's how much I would make in 2 years of working there or more. So
it's the fork in the road. Do I go this way?
Yeah, exactly. So it comes down to I'm sitting there. I'm like, what do I do right now? I'm like, do I just dip out of here? Do I just take off? This guy ain't gonna remember shit. He's drunk. I don't know really what to do here. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do the right thing. I was like, I'm just gonna, maybe I'll be cool with him. I'll take him up to his room. Maybe, he gives me a good tip or whatnot. I ain't going to do that.
Did he stiff you? Huh? Did he stiff you?
Listen, we'll get to that. Oh. So I'm like, I don't want to get bad karma or whatnot. I don't want to do all that. So I end up taking him up to his room. So shit-faced drunk. This guy goes in and he literally just lays down on the bed. Then he starts telling me, he's like, I want this food and this ordered and this, and I want these cigars up to the room or whatnot and everything like that. And I'm like, all right. So I was like, yeah, I can order it up for you and get that going for you. So I start doing all that and everything, and then he pulls out another $5,000 in chips out of his pocket and just throws them on the table all over the place and shit. They're all falling all over the place and everything like that. And then and then I'm like, all right, so are we good up here? And he's like, yeah, we're good. So I'm standing there. I'm like, is this dude gonna tip me? Is he gonna give me anything or what? What the fuck? This guy's got a whole bunch of money. What happened? So he doesn't do anything, and I'm just like, all right. I was like, I guess just let me know if you need anything. And he's like, yeah, I'll let you know, man, if I need anything. I was like, all right. So I ended up leaving.
Wow.
Didn't give me. So he stiffed me. Didn't give me.
Only
nothing.
if he knew what could have happened there.
I know. Honestly, it's funny because he did stiff me. Didn't give me nothing. And then funny thing was, downstairs, I see him come stumbling again. This was 2 hours later.
With the bag?
Stumbling again with the bag, leaving leaving the area where the hotel is, where they go up to the room. So he's leaving, and then he goes back to the table with the money that he had, and then one of the other security guards there, I told him he was patrolling the area where the tables were, and I was like, let me know what this guy does at the table. I was like, I'm interested to see if this guy goes and just dumps it, loses everything. Guy goes, loses all the money. All of it, bro. All of it.
Oh, that's so
it was all for nothing anyway. The thing was all for nothing.
That's so tragic. Still has to pay for the room, or maybe they comp it. Maybe they'll comp it because he just lost 100,000. But it's
crazy.
It's brutal.
Yep, those are some Vegas stories though for you guys.
Very unique here. It's a very unique place to grow up. But I mean, transitioning into the new UFC or the next UFC coming up, Covington and Masvidal. Who do you think is going to win that one? Or
I think that's here in Vegas too.
Yeah, T-Mobile Arena.
It is. So Masvidal against Covington. Here's the thing. I thought these guys were friends. I don't know. They were supposed to be friends or some shit, I think. Weren't they? Yeah. They're supposed to be like friends or whatnot. So I don't know if they're putting on an act or not because they want to sell pay-per-views or whatnot. Because obviously, when you're friends, it's like, how are you going to be angry at each other and whatnot?
Sure.
So what I've been watching, though, it seems like Masvidal is trying to trigger him a little bit by saying a bunch of stuff. And I don't know. When it comes down to fighting aspect, I don't feel like, I don't know if Masvidal even wants. When's the last time he fought? I don't even know the last time he fought, to be honest.
Usman.
Yeah, that was the last time, right?
He got starched in the second round.
But that was a while ago.
Yeah.
And that was
December?
I think so. Like that was
December.
No, that was maybe longer than that, wasn't it?
I don't know.
That was pretty far ago when Masvidal last fought, and I don't know what he's been doing in this meantime. I don't know if he has his own fight league now or something. I think he has like something going on. I don't know what it is, but
I think he's doing bare knuckle boxing. Actually, wasn't that?
I don't know. I don't think he's fighting in it.
Oh.
I think he has something to do with it, maybe, but I don't think he's fighting in it. But when it comes down to it, like Masvidal is a brawler, street brawler. He's not going to do any of that wrestling type shit. He don't want to do any of that.
He could if it went down to it. I mean, you saw like last fight with Usman. I mean, he took him down with a hard takedown in the first round, and I mean, he recovered from Usman, which is an amazing wrestler. I mean, that guy has some crazy ground game. So, I mean, he could definitely go to it. I mean, I saw the odds, and it was minus 350 for Covington, and that was today. I mean, we still have a long time till that fight is, but that's some pretty high odds. I mean, that's a 77% win percentage, or they think that he's going to win by 70%.
Yeah, I mean, that's crazy. That's why when I seen that too, I was a little shocked. I thought it would be a little bit closer. And I was like, minus 350 for Covington. The reason why I think maybe the odds are like that is because they're thinking maybe if he goes and wrestles him down, takes him down and sits on top of him for most of the fight, and does, what Covington is going to plan to do is wrestle, probably. Sure. And I think if Covington does that and executes that plan, then yeah, I do think he wins a fight, if that's the aspect. But if they stay in and start brawling, I mean, if they start brawling, I don't know. I'm gonna stay, Masvidal wise, yeah, because he has a puncher's shot, definitely. And I don't know. That's just, I think the odds are a little too much. And I don't prefer these big odds main events. No. I don't like these big odd main events because we just watched one in Islam.
No, that was
a domination.
Yeah.
That was,
I mean, props to Bobby Green for stepping up to that, but no, that wasn't even fun to watch because obviously those two fighters shouldn't have been in the same ring together.
Yeah, but, I mean, you could see like in that fight, you could just see that what happened. Bobby Green, I don't even think he landed a shot. I don't even know if he landed a shot or not. Like he was dancing around doing all that dancing shit, and then what happens? Ends up on his back, and then he's done. He can't get up. Like exactly what everybody said was going to happen. That's exactly what happened. So I don't know. I don't like these big odd main events. I mean, obviously the Covington Masvidal fight should be way better than fucking Islam. It honestly should be a way better fight. But I don't know. We'll see. My pick though, like thinking of who's going to win that, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna take the big underdog. I'm gonna go with Masvidal. Yeah. I'm gonna say he knocks him out.
Ooh.
There's
definitely some bad blood here. I know you were saying that like they were friends and former training partners at American Top Team back in the day, but I know that they were both kicked out of the gym at first, and then Masvidal actually ended up going back. But everybody hates Covington at American Top Team, and I mean, I just feel like personally Covington is a great fighter. I mean, he's a guy that will keep the pace on you a lot. He's got an amazing gas tank. He'll go all fight long. 5-round fights are not a problem for him. But I mean, I feel like they were friends and they know each other's styles, so it's going to be a pretty entertaining fight in that sense. But I feel like you're right. I mean, Masvidal is just so much more elite with his hands. So if he starches him, obviously the fight's done.
No, exactly. And the thing is, like, I want to advise everybody even watching when it comes to UFC fights and whatnot. Like, it's very tough to put a lot of money on a UFC fight because
anything can
happen. Like, yeah, it's literally one shot. Like, all it takes is one shot. Like, somebody gets clipped just lucky, and the lights are out. So I mean, that happens. So that's why, like, I would never put a big amount of money on a UFC fight just because I don't care if a guy's minus 1,000, even just like Islam was like minus 900. I still would never wager like a huge amount of money because you just never know. you never know. There could always be where somebody leaves himself open, boom, clip them, and then they're done. Like, it happens.
Yeah, like yesterday there was that Wellington fight where the guy was dominating the whole fight, and it was like down to I forgot, it was like the third round, and he was dominating, and then he just went on top of him full mount, and then I think he slipped into an armbar. And
exactly.
He got slipped so, I mean, anything can happen in that sense.
Yeah, it was against Serkinov. Serkinov ends up getting, he was beating his ass, and then all of a sudden gets slipped up into an armbar, and it literally taps like in milliseconds because as soon as it just snatches in. Yeah. That's why it's very tough betting the UFC. Very fun though.
Oh,
very fun.
Best sport to watch.
It is. It's super fun to bet the UFC. Like I love being able to watch it. It's just fun because it's so like quick and it's just excitement. You know,
action packed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Action packed and just excitement. Now, what do you think about hockey? Because we were actually talking about this before. What do you think about hockey in the aspect of how exciting hockey is?
Oh, hockey is so fun. It's a very frightening. It's so nerve-wracking having money on hockey, I feel, because I mean there's just so many shots on goal but I mean as far as entertainment factor, it's one of the best sports to go to and watch. I love going to the Knights games here, and it's so fun to watch.
Yeah, like see, the thing is, it's funny because like I don't, it's funny because you guys probably don't know, but I always say this anyway, but I rarely watch the games. I'll watch the games once in a while to do some, like, just to watch them a little bit, but I don't really do it because of that aspect of, like, the sweats. Like, I've had those sweats, and I've did that shit for years upon years, and that shit taxes you. I'm telling you, that shit taxes you to sit there and watch a game and stress over a game. Like, I'm just going to use an example of one that I wasn't watching that we had, but
I know
exactly how the feeling was if you were watching it, and it was the Colorado Avalanche. Yep. The other night, this was like last week, they were down 3-0, so no shot. Looked like 0 shot in this game. Next thing you know, it's 3-1. Next thing you know, 3-2. Right before the end of the second period, tied it up 3-3, and it's like you watching that shit is just like nerve-wracking so much because it's like your emotions throughout the whole entire game are like super down because you're like, oh man, I lost. Then it's like, oh, maybe I got a shot. The worst thing is like when that happens, a big comeback like that, and then you lose because then it's like you rode the wave of like you were down, and then you got like, oh, there's a chance, and then you end up losing. It's such a bad feeling.
About the people that cash out early when it's even the first period, and it's like, and that game ended up winning 6-3, so they ended up dominating them for the rest of the game. But there was even some people inside of our group they were just at the first period, they're like, oh my god, Avalanche down 3-0.
And it's funny because like I know your original sports bettor out there that isn't well seasoned. I'm telling you right now, they all panic right in the beginning of a game. You cannot count any NHL team out. You can't count any NBA team out because those sports literally, you can go on bits of runs, and in hockey they can string together 2 or 3 goals in a matter of a couple minutes, changes the whole game. NBA game, the team could be down 20 points, all of a sudden goes on like a 15-0 run, and next thing you know, now it's like a 1 or 2 possession game. So
2
it's
quick
like,
goals in NHL can change the pace of the game so dramatically.
Exactly, especially towards the end of the game. I've seen a lot of times at the end of the games when they go empty net that when you have that extra man advantage, and the team that has that extra man advantage actually does end up scoring or tying the game up, and this stuff happens like within the last minute of the game because when they do that. So I mean, it's super, it's sports betting is just a thing where the emotions just destroy you because it's like it literally gives you gray hair to watch. Like,
exactly.
Yeah, to watch a game, it gives you gray hair to watch the games because the emotion that it takes you through. But that's the thing though, is like that's why we all do it too though, is the feeling of that because you can't. There's no other feeling. You can't really replicate that feeling anywhere else.
In stock, no, you can't do it in stock.
Yeah, the stock market, you're not replicating that shit in the stock market. You're what because Tesla went it went down 3%. I don't got the sweats. What do I got the sweats for? Maybe in the next month it'll go back up. Like I don't got no sweats with that. But damn well, Carmelo Anthony got the ball in his last second in a Laker game. And we got the Lakers. What are we doing? We're sweating our asses off seeing if he's going to make that last shot or whatnot.
And of course he misses.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
From 40 feet away.
Of course, yeah, he ends up missing. But that's why we do it. That's sports betting. That's sports betting. That's the emotions. That's the gambling aspect. That's why people love to do it. They love to do it for that feeling. It's not even for the money sometimes. It's for the feeling of just being like having that action, that feeling of like it makes you feel alive, and there's no other way that you can like you can feel it. No. Like how like you know, I don't even know how to explain like the aspect of when you have money on the line and it comes down to a last possession. It comes down to a last possession when you got money on the line. Yeah, your heart's beating like you're fucking. You got the sweats. I'm telling you, you got the sweats. Everybody that's watching, you guys all know what I'm talking about. So it comes down to like the last second, and then all of a sudden, boom! Like that bet actually hits. Like they hit a buzzer beater for you to cash it. It's insane because you start like going freaking out and shit.
Especially if you're watching it with the boys.
Yeah,
like a UFC fight and somebody's just down and the fight should have been called, but they turn around and end up knocking the other person out.
It's insane.
There's no better feeling.
Exactly. There's no better feeling than it, and you can't replicate it. Like you can't replicate the feeling like that. Mm-hmm. So it's funny because, I mean, sex you can you can replicate the feeling in the last 10 seconds. I think. In the last 10 seconds of that, I mean, I don't know, that's about it. But other than that, you can't replicate that feeling of winning a bet, like a close bet or whatnot. So, that's the aspect of sports betting that's definitely, that's why everybody does it. And that's why we obviously, that's why we all do it. Because
that we all are bettors. Exactly.
Yeah, it all comes down to being a bettor,
Mm-hmm. But to the next point, I wanted to ask you a couple questions as far as like investing into different type of stuff. I know sports betting is definitely an investment avenue for your portfolio, but I mean, as far as that, I mean, are you doing any type of, what do you like for real estate or crypto? What are you more invested into the future?
Well, for the future, I've been sold on crypto for the future. Like for the future, I really think that everything is going to end up being ran through crypto. Mm-hmm. I think everything, like I think it's honestly going to be like the new currency that really is ran, like a mainstream currency that's ran through everything, and the dollar is going to like start, going down or whatnot. So like that's my true opinion when it comes to that. And then like real estate obviously is always a solid investment to be a part of. I mean, real estate's always solid because my personal thing that I think is great with real estate is like your multifamily homes, your apartments and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Because definitely if you can invest in something like that, you have 500 units that are paying you $1,500 a month.
That's a lot of cash flow you're getting every month, and cash flow is king.
No, exactly. I mean, how can you deny that? Like, I mean, when it comes to tax write-offs too, it's more best to have the real estate type thing.
There's way more incentives for real estate than there is for. I mean, there's no incentives for crypto. I mean, the only incentive is holding it for a year and getting less capital gains tax. But I mean, besides that, yeah, there's 1031 tax exchange, and the fact that you could actually leverage debt in order to buy an asset that is cash flowing, and you can write off the depreciation of a property for up to 27 years. I mean, that's fucking mind-boggling, and people just realize they got to open up their avenue and realize that it's going to take multiple different sectors that you're going to need to invest into your portfolio. I mean, it's not just, most millionaires are not just doing it off of one thing. Sure, there are some, but most have a diversified portfolio.
No, I agree, because you need multiple sources of income to put it all together to build your overall wealth. I mean, I definitely agree with that, and I think it's not more of aspect of like probably what you should be invested in. It's more of like you probably should have it all. You should probably be invested in crypto. You should be invested in real estate. You should be invested, like I said, in sports betting. You could do that, like everything. Like it's just the more aspect of having access to know how to make money, of doing everything is going to be, if you know how to do a little bit of everything and have a little bit of money spread out with everything, it starts becoming a big pie, and then it starts building up. So yeah. I definitely agree with that you need multiple sources of income always, because one is never enough unless you win the lottery.
Exactly. And then you see the stat, most people that hit the lottery end up going broke after a couple of years because they just don't have that financial education, and that's what it's all about.
No, exactly. I know. I've seen so many stories on the lottery stuff where like hillbillies and shit like that will win the lottery and they blow it on some like,
just go on a coke bender for 4 years.
Yeah, they literally just do the stupidest stuff with the money that's just insane. So I mean, yeah, you got to definitely know what to do with the money when you do get money. That's for sure, because that's another aspect. Like that happens a lot with athletes. Athletes, they come up with big sums of money, and then they have no idea what to do with it, and then they go and blow $100 million contracts or whatnot. So
imagine just having $100 million and end up going broke after a certain amount of years. It's like, if you can just invest that and just get a 7% return on $100 million, I mean, that is $7 million a year that you could live your lifestyle from off of that.
I know, exactly. And like, there's been multiple athletes that's happened to. Multiple athletes that have lost everything that they've literally, built and they created, and all this money that they made from their contracts, they'd lose everything. Then you got like the opposite end. And then you got like, example, Shaq. You take Shaq, like I swear to God, Shaq has his fingers in literally like everything in this planet. I swear to God, like everything. I turn the corner at everything. He's in Papa John's. He's got his shoe deal that he's gave, you know, with Walmart, with Shaq, the Shaq shoes and everybody that nobody wants to wear ever. Nobody ever likes to wear the Shaq shoes, but he got those the like
insurance commercials as well.
Yeah, insurance commercials like Dollar General, I think it is, or something like
Whatever
that.
Whatever that is, yeah.
Yeah, like he's got his fingers in everything, and like he is. And it's funny because him growing up and seeing like Shaq from when he was early. He didn't seem like such a smart person. He didn't seem like he was educated on that level of like he knew exactly what to do with the money and aspect. But as soon as he started getting money, he learned and he knew exactly what to do with all of it. Like it was funny because I seen a story on him too that was like he spent $1 million in Walmart in his first contract. His first contract, he went to Walmart and spent $1 million in Walmart. He told like he got his mom like everything that was in Walmart or something. What? And like. Yeah, he bought his whole family everything that was in Walmart, all the groceries, all the clothes, all everything, like right when he got his first contract. So he spent $1 million in there. So like right off the bat, like that's a little iffy right off the bat to be doing something like that. But then obviously he learned from all that and like was able like he is a wealthy man. I'm telling you, Shaq has got money and he's definitely invested in everything. He's got a little bit of everything, and that's retail, everything. I'm sure he's got real estate. Like I don't know if he's got real estate, but I'm damn sure he's got real estate. Yeah, I mean, that's for sure. I'm sure he's got crypto. I'm sure he's got all that stuff, So, I mean, another thing that, like, when it comes to, like, the crypto, real estate, all the investment type stuff is, what should you get paid in? And I'm starting to see that, a lot of people are starting to get paid in crypto. Even athletes. Athletes are starting to take that, which is, it's weird because it's not like your normal pay where you're, no matter what, you're getting paid the same amount. Like, I think it was Odell Beckham. Odell Beckham, decided to get paid in crypto, and his contract was like $750,000. Well, he decided to do that right when we were hitting like a dip on crypto. So his contract actually ended up being worth only like $250,000 because he only got paid $250,000 because he decided to take crypto on it. So
well, he didn't lose yet. He didn't sell, but
exactly. Well, I don't know if he did.
Yeah,
we don't know if he did or not.
Paid 35% on that as well.
I know. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know how that works with that, but that's another reason. Like I think crypto, going forward can is going to be like next type of currency, because it's not just your athletes. I feel like just your everyday worker is going to maybe if they have the option to get paid in crypto, maybe they will take that route.
Yeah, because
you never know, because to be honest with you, the paycheck that you get in 2 weeks could be worth more than what the money is that you could be worth more, or it could be worth less, obviously. So I mean, I don't know. I think like if you want to be a type of a gambler or whatnot, take gambles on yourself or on the crypto world, and you get paid every 2 weeks. Yeah, who knows? You get paid in crypto. You never know. You could make more money than what you were getting paid. That what you would have made if you just took regular cash or like a check or whatnot.
Yeah, exactly. No, it just it's all it is. The name of the game is just a hedge against inflation, and that's all crypto is. And sure, I mean, you just got to know when to buy and when to sell. You got to buy on opportunities like now when the market is down, and sell when it's high. And you got to just structure yourself in a way where you're just doing this constantly and just have different positions open. But yeah, that's pretty much my view. I like crypto. I like the technology behind it, but I'm definitely more sold in a secure place to hold your value is just real estate.
True. I'm not sold though with the real estate in Vegas. The real estate in Vegas right now is outrageous. And I don't see it going more higher than what it's at right now, which is, I mean, people that have paid $350,000 for houses about 4 years ago now are selling them for $700. And like I don't like, you're getting, it's almost like California type prices that have came this way. So I don't know. In Vegas wise, I'm not too sold on the real estate game here, unless, like I said, the apartment game. You build an apartment complex here, the apartments are like $1,700 for a 1 bedroom a month. Like,
and you see how many of those have popped up recently in these last couple of years.
Oh, they're all over the place.
Yeah, the market is so hot right now between the amount of demand there's so much demand right now in the market, and the amount of supply is an all-time low for Vegas. I mean, that's why you have places that were $350,000, like you were saying a couple of years ago, that are now upwards of $750,000, almost $1 million. It's like that's crazy returns as well between appreciation. So
no, for sure, yeah. I mean, that's like in a matter of 4 years, somebody getting double in money, 100% return there on a real estate property, that's unheard of too.
Yeah,
that's unheard of to do. So I mean, other than that, guys, definitely, I enjoy having you on, Matt. Thanks for being a part.
I appreciate. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being a part of the first episode of the Line Maker Sports Podcast. Like I said, guys, we're gonna try to do this every single week. So we'll try to get one out to you guys every week. I'm going to have different guests come on. We might even have some big guests come on that you guys know. So we never know. We never know who I'm going to have sitting in another seat over there. As always, guys, if you guys enjoyed this, make sure you guys hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'm Frank with Line Maker Sports. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Till then, I'm out.